Welcome back to our program. Check out this button. It says, be very helpful, don't smoke. It's all about the American Cancer Society's Great American Smokeout. We want to thank our next two guests for coming in to talk about the Great American Smokeout. It actually comes up in just a few days. My guest, this is Herb Meyer, and also joining us is Linda Pitlock. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for coming in. Herb, let's go ahead and start with you if we can.
Okay.
Okay, let's find a little history about you. I know that you had cancer of the larynx?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Cancer of the larynx.
Okay, it's going to be a little hard to understand you, so just take your time, that's fine. Tell us what happened.
Well, I came down with but
Well, let me ask you a couple questions. You can just tell me yes or no. That's okay. Do you attribute this to cigarette smoking?
Yes, I did a lot of smoking.
How many years did you actually smoke?
About 40 years.
Wow. Do you remember when they actually diagnosed you with cancer?
Yes, I had a water line to break, and I had to go to the hospital because I couldn't talk. Mm-hmm. And that's when they discovered that I had cancer of the larynx.
You were working in construction at the time, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. Okay. I had just finished building a big apartment building. Then I had one of the big water mains to break, and I was on the job site. Got something wet. And the next day, I couldn't talk, so I went to the doctor, and that's when they found out that I had cancer. And,
at first you thought it was just your hoarseness was just on the fact
right.
that you were working out in freezing cold weather. You just blamed the hoarseness and a sore throat on that.
That's right. That's what happened. Then so they ended up putting me in, taking a test. Then I ended up in the hospital and then was operated on. And of course, at first they told me I only had 2 weeks to live because I had cancer. And it so happens that I was good enough that I still live.
Well, we're glad you're here this morning. Okay, Linda, jump in. This is your baby. This has got to be one of the most enlightening interviews I've ever done. This gentleman's name is Herb Meyer, and he was a former smoker. He smoked for, what, 40 years?
Oh, yes, I mean, so.
Also joining us this morning is Linda Pitlock. She is the chairperson of the Great American Smokeout for southwestern Indiana. Is that correct?
For Vanderbilt County.
For Vanderbilt County. Okay, Herb, you were just telling us in the commercial break, and I wanted you to share that with our friends at home, too, the fact that Deaconess Hospital or some other group can call you and you will go and speak to people about smoking.
That I have done. I've had a case where they called me Deacons, and they had a young fellow from Illinois that had to have this operation. The way I understood it, if he didn't have the operation, there's chances that he wouldn't live.
Because the cancer wouldn't spread.
That's right. He was only around 40, 45. And the young fella, he didn't want the operation because he was afraid it was going to affect his job. The job he had to be able to talk. And so they called and they said, we're worried. He's turned them down now for almost 2 weeks. Then he said the time's getting short. So they called me and I went down to the hospital. Of course, I went in and I introduced myself. And he had a pad and write down. Then I got talking to him. Then I explained to him that as far as learning how to talk, he can learn how to talk. So therefore, if it's a matter of life or death, he did go ahead and get the operation. The only thing is, some people take longer than others.
How long did it take you to speak again after they removed your larynx?
Well, that's hard to say because I kept writing on a pad. But
kept your wife busy by reading all your notes.
Yeah, and of course, the big thing that helped me is that in the mornings when I take a bath in a tub, I would relax and I'd talk to myself. And then you try to tell that of myself, if you try to talk when you're relaxed, you'll do better. But you cannot talk when you're under pressure.
Do you consider yourself a survivor?
Oh, yes, every minute.
So when they have you go and speak to people, they also want you to talk about to stop smoking, right?
Oh, yes.
What is your best sales pitch for folks that are watching you right now to get them off cigarettes?
Just quit smoking. Cigarettes are, because it'll kill you. And you look at this and see what I'm talking about. And there's no use in it. What good is it? What good is it?
What are you planning to do now Thursday?
Okay, we have several community activities planned.
I hope you're going to have Herb speaking for you.
I hope we can convince him to do that, and I think maybe we can. He's a very effective speaker and such a nice person, and we hope he'll join us at our activities. We'll be visiting Highland School in the morning and Westside Consolidated Parochial School in the afternoon. We'll also be doing a press conference at Eastland Mall at 11:30, and Johnny Kincaid will be there. He's our honorary spokesperson, and we have several other personalities that will be there.
We've had Johnny on the program before speaking about the fact that he was a heavy smoker at one time.
And he quit last year at Smoke Out Time, and he and Elaine have both continued to be non-smokers. We're real proud of that fact.
Did you see the show going on Sammy Davis? That's what killed Sammy Davis, cigarettes.
That's right, that's right.
They had him on that show last night with,
Sinatra.
Sinatra.
That's right.
Yeah,
okay, why don't we take a break? When we come back in a moment, we'll continue talking with these people. Stay with us. Thanks a lot for joining us this morning. Thank you very much for coming in. You're a wonderful man, and you really enlightened me, boy. I hope I never will smoke. Let's talk a little bit more about Thursday, November 19th, big day.
Right, absolutely.
How many people are actually going to be working with you to spread the word?
Oh, my. We have several people. I can't tell you the exact number. We have a public education committee in American Cancer Society, and we're all working together. We have at least 7 unique personalities that will appear at the mall besides the American Cancer Society representatives. And we will be having educational booths there. We'll also have booths set up in the Schnuck stores. And
so if people see that, make sure that you go up and check it out. Take the pamphlets, take any information, and make sure you get a hold of one of these buttons to be very helpful. Please don't smoke, American Cancer Society. Thank you so much for coming in. If you'd like more information about the American Cancer Society's Great American Smoke Out, here's a phone number, 424-8281, 424-8281. Thank you so much for coming in. Have a very helpful day. Thanks a lot for being here.
Crazy Dan's the Phantom of the Courthouse.